بابا یه مراسم گرد هماییه. فرست نیشن این اعتقاد رو داشتن که یکی از بهترین راه‌هایی که فرهنگشون رو میتونن ترویج بدن حالت داد و ستد و مهمونی تو گرفتن و بعد یکی از قسمت‌های مهم پاوا اینه که حالا رقص‌های سنتیشون هست، موسیقی سنتیشون هست. دانشکده ها، مراکز مختلف غیر انتفاعی، در واقع سر تا سر کانادا موزه ها همه فعالن. این 3 روز و فرهنگ و ترویج میدن و آزادش تقریبا میکنن برای خیلی ها از مردم که معمولا ممکنه نرن موزه یا نرن به این ورکشاپ ها سر بزنن. الان کنفرانس داریم، کنفرانس هم آزاد هست امروز برای همه که وارد بشن به اصطلاح از ورکشاپ های مختلفش استفاده بکنن. سازمان‌های غیر انتفاعی هستن اینجا، سازمان‌هایی که از راه هنر و ترویج فرهنگ سعی میکنن به خدمات اجتماعی ارائه بدن و یه سری کارهایی رو انجام میدن. به اصطلاح مثلا فرض کن برای خانواده‌های محروم، فقیر، زیر فقر زندگی میکنن، برای جوانایی که اعتیاد دارن.
I was living somewhere else at the time and didn't expect to be coming back to Thunder Bay. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out sometime, but I never actually really considered it. So when I did come back home, I decided maybe I should check it out, see what the Urban Abbey is. Urban Abbey is it's similar to a monastery, which were places in Europe where people would go to commit their lives to God and to serving Him and to learning more about Him, but also to serving their community and helping to take care of people that needed help. And this place, people will come and live here and commit their lives to serving God as well, just like at a monastery. And they have to write a rule of life, which is the rules that they are going to hold themselves to in order to live a disciplined and godly life. It's actually a long story, but the short of it is they gave me a tour. So then I asked them if I could live and work here, and they were like, well, yes, we were going to ask if you would. And I was like, fantastic. So I moved in last December. It's really just a lot about building a community of people who believe the same thing. them. So it's a treat for the people who live here and pass through.
We've kind of made programs to make ourselves feel good about helping the homeless people, but it doesn't reach a point where we are actually giving of ourselves and being vulnerable with other people instead of just giving them a meal, I guess.
And try and be on the same bounce. So leads, you get to decide where the bounce happens. Nice. Good. Step. Walk, step, step, kick, and step. Okay, so I'm going to put on some music and you guys can just move around with the rock step. Okay, we're going to do forwards.
And the purpose of this is just to bring people together from the community to get to know each other. And it's a good meeting place.
Good job.
And a way to build community.
A couple of reasons, at least, of why people would like to help other people or why people enjoy helping other people. As Christians, there's a mandate that we help people. It definitely isn't always easy, so you have to do it when it's not fun and when you don't feel good about yourself for doing it.
This place hosts a couple of activities, like there's the dance once a week, and then there's the choir that comes in and sings, and then some of the people who come and live here and commit their lives to their rule of life, they also come as an artist who's in residence, and then there's also people who just drop in, I suppose, that are going to be able to use the art area.
A youth shelter, as well as the Thrive environment, which is a home for pregnant young teens who are addicted to opiates. And so it's a recovery program for them.
That's going to be starting up soon as well, and this is an in-between place for people to stop in here.
And I really think it's something the city needs because it's a very segregated community in some ways, and there's a lot of racism. So being a place where people can come and gather and seeing the beauty in different people and recognizing the fingerprints of God in their lives is something that I was very passionate about and still am, and am discovering more about.
And then I spent 7 years working in a girls' home, and that was also with children who were coming from very difficult circumstances. Their parents were often addicted to drugs or alcohol and couldn't take care of them, and so I was in a home that helped to take care of them. And often the kids would also get involved in these things even though they were being rescued from these homes that were involved in them, and it's so much a cycle of you don't have any better example in your life, and you go down the same path that your parents went down, and they did drugs and drank too much while they were your parents, and then you do it too. And sometimes we would have situations where the people in our home would be selling their bodies for drugs, and they would, even their boyfriends would want to sell them so that they could get drugs, or else they would do it so they could get some beer, and it's a very miserable situation for them, and to try and help them through. And sometimes it seems very hopeless. Let's go to Google. Yeah, I don't see any. I think Thunder Bay kind of struggles with garbage. as well. Garbage and graffiti and addictions. That image, that's the hospital. Thunder Bay Mental Health. Thunder Bay. Feeling as though you're hopeless, like you don't have anything else in life, and so you find this one thing, and so whether you're poor or you're rich, it does end up tearing your life apart. And they say it's a victimless crime. Some people do. They say, well, it's not hurting anybody, it's just hurting me, but it does actually hurt the person and everybody around them, because nobody's isolated. Everybody has, hopefully everybody has somebody in their life, and anybody in your life that cares about you is going to be hurt by the things that you do. If they hurt you, then they're going to hurt the people around you too. I think that everybody has a rough story. Everybody's got difficult things that happen in their life, and some people's are more difficult than others. And I think that I've had a pretty easy life comparably. Compared to what other people go through, it's easy. 2 years later that he became an atheist, so we had both been Christian and got married, and then 2 years later he met his biological dad, who convinced him that he should become an atheist, and so he left Christianity a couple months ago. After all of this conflict, that he said, you know, I don't want to have you around anymore. I said, you know, we're going through all this trouble, and maybe we should talk about a divorce. He kept on telling me that I needed to leave, and so finally I ended up here. I've always wished that things could work out between us, and it's always been a deteriorating process where things have just slowly been breaking down more and more, and maybe a restoration can happen. Still, we'll have to see about that, because it's always very sad to see such a beautiful thing split apart.
Guys, happy Thanksgiving. How was it? Good. All right, wonderful. Take care. God bless.
Even if my husband left me because of what I believe, I've still had the freedom to have that belief without being kept from having a job for it, or without being put in prison for it, because I know that does happen in some parts of the world, so it's easy. Being separated from my kids is really, really hard. I can think of what I would do with each of them if I was with them, because they each have their own unique personalities. There's Wesley, who's 6 years old now, and I miss him as well. I mean, I don't miss all the fighting that would happen, and that he'd come home very late all the time, and we hardly spent any time together at the end. He was coming home at 9:30 every night and leaving at 7, so we didn't spend time together, and he didn't spend time with the children. So I miss the idea of what I wish we could have had, but there wasn't too much to miss because he wasn't around anyways.
We don't have to pay for lodging, and we don't have to pay for food, because our meals are provided here. So
You work for free, but you get lodging and food.
yes,
But you don't have an excess.
yeah.
Just a minute, I'm putting tuna on it, all right? Just give me a second. There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between my beliefs or being able to be with my children and my family, and I said that I would have to choose my beliefs. It's a deep relationship. It's a relationship with somebody who's going to be there after death. And so I can't choose relationships that are here in this world when I'm looking forward to a relationship that's going to last forever.
We want to see them on a level that we're the same as them. Our reason for helping people and the way that we help people is from a place of mutual brokenness with the people that we see and mutual just love for people, I guess.